Welcome to another edition of the Hgp Sportscast. We begin with some football news. Good news, that is. Guyana football stands to benefit in more ways than one with the normalization of football in Guyana and a firm foundation set by the Normalization Committee. Exciting times for Guyana football is the way President of the CFU, Gordon Dornick, described Guyana's prospect. Details in this report.
I think that the Guyana Football Federation, Guyana, the country itself, should now be proud because there's a solid foundation set. And these newly elected gentlemen and lady who have been elected to run their affairs now have a wonderful foundation to launch off from, and it should only be exciting times now for Guyana.
Guyana, being one of the cornerstone countries, meant a lot to football in the region. Dornick said that the region is happy that Guyana was able to resolve its issues.
Guyana is one of our cornerstone countries in CFU, and we get very concerned when the stronger countries are having issues. And we're very happy. I'm so happy about the result here today. I'm relaxed now. I know Guyana football is back on track. There should be no more issues. Of course, things will come up, but there will be no real heavy political issues, I think, for a while. I think they have to be given a chance to show what they can do, and they have a 4-year mandate.
The CFU president expressed confidence in the newly elected executives of the GFF that they will carry out the mandate, which will accrue benefits to all the member associations.
Expect from the caliber persons that things will be run properly, and all the structures, like I said before, all the structures are in place. FIFA and CONCACAF in the reform process too, so things are going to be a bit different going forward, and I think that will also trickle its way down to all the associations. And I think that going forward, I think Guyana should be able to do a good job.
Guyana is now poised to take off with a wide range of support from FIFA. The CFU president reiterates.
Now that you are normalized, so to speak, the association will now can apply for the program which is called Performance. And what the Performance program, FIFA comes in and they do a total review of what's in place. They do a retreat with the executive. They put together long-term, medium, and short-term goals, and everything is thought out. And then coming out of that, FIFA then gives even further support, training of staff, training of the marketing persons, whatever. There's a bunch of things that can come out of that. So you're now eligible for it. And it is funded by FIFA too. So there's a significant funding available to drive the football. FIFA is looking to do is make each association viable, so we're not always, behind, So they try to set up programs and make sure that the association are properly staffed. The funding alone from FIFA is $250,000 US, and by the time you can tap into one or two other things, you're easily $500,000-$600,000 US, right? You add your revenue from gate receipts, you're over $1 million US a year. So it can't be run the same way. You have to do proper processes and structures in place. And now that you're there, you now qualify for it. And there's another thing called the Revenue Generation Program, which again, you come up with a program that you think will generate revenue for the association, and there's funding up to an X amount. I can't remember it offhand, but there's funding up to a couple $100,000 US available for that program to be your kickstart. So from that, you will then start to generate more funds on a regular basis, which can go straight back into football. So now that you're normalized, like I said on my address, the future is bright, and I think almost everyone in Guyana football will have to start wearing shades. It is so bright.
The GFF will soon commence work on its goal project with lands acquired at Providence. The completion of this project will see football owning its own state-of-the-art facility. Gudakish Moti and Vishal Singh star in Guyana Jaguars' big win against Leeward Islands Hurricane by an innings and 35 runs at the Providence Stadium last Monday. Calvin Chapman with the details.
The Guyana Jaguars title defense campaign continued on track after their second successive innings victory. After 2 rounds, the home side is top of the points ranking with 35 points, with a first-round win against Windward Volcanoes and recently Leeward Hurricanes. In the Leeward Islands matchup at Providence, after the visitors opted to field, Vice-Captain Vishal Singh scored his highest first-class score of 150 to rescue his team when they were dangling at 3 for 21 from 8 overs. He and the reliable Shiv Chandrapal shared a 171-run partnership, one of the more important partnerships of the match, before Chandrapal was dismissed for a 210-ball 65. Stephen Jacobs chipped in with a quick, unbeaten 63 that helped the Jaguars amass 419 for 9 declared on day 2. At the end of the third day, the Hurricanes were bowled out for an embarrassing 85, and the follow-on was enforced. Morty Kanai took 6 scalps, and good fast bowling from Beaton and Barnwell earned them 2 wickets each. The Hurricanes' second innings was a lot more resilient, with Jamaican Nkrumah Bonner stroking a timely 89 from 171 minutes at the crease. Trinidadian Darren Cruikshank also showed some fight with a well-played 57. Both batsmen were dismissed by Morty Kanai, who took 5 more in the second innings to enjoy an 11-wicket match haul, taking his overall tally to 14. Stephen Jacobs continued his good all-round form with 3 wickets, and Barnwell and Beaton took 1 each. The Jaguars faced the Barbados Pride on Friday at the National Stadium.
In football news, Guinness Greatest of the Street, Georgetown Zone, got underway for the 2015-2016 season last Friday at the Cultural Center Tarmac. Defending zone champions, Georgetown, that is, North Rumvelt, opened their season with a first-game win. Teams also starting on a winning note are Sparta Boss, Northeast Le Penitence, East Front Road, and West Back Road. South Rumvelt played to a draw against Festival City. Globe Yard and Cross Street matchup also ended in a draw, and so was the game between Albistown B and Home Street, Tiger Bay. Guinness Greatest of the Street football action continues Tuesday night, November 17 at California Square, East Rumvelt. Still with football, the GTT Round Robin Knockout Interclub Tournament continues Tuesday night, November 17 at the MSC Ground, Linden. In the first matchup, Anns Grove comes up against Mile Rock of Linden at 6 p.m. and the feature matchup between brings together Golden Grove and Winners Connection, also of Linden. Compliments of his dad, Stanley Ming, 19-year-old Calvin Ming was able to showcase the first ever Formula One race car for Guyana. Details in this report. Senior Ming focused his comments on opportunity for youths in development in all sporting disciplines.
You know, in every aspect of development, you have to focus on youth. My son just turned 19, and it's an example of what young people in Guyana, whether it is cricket, football, table tennis, badminton, given the opportunity, what they can achieve. My son is just one example. I know several others that are capable of emulating what he has done. And what I'm hoping is that the corporate entities in Guyana will see that Guyana can produce the likes of a Calvin Ming many times. And not only Guyana, the Caribbean has that ability. And I was telling...
Ming is on a mission to produce Formula One champions in Guyana and the Caribbean.
If the Caribbean countries, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Guyana, came together and set up a Caribbean team, I am confident that within maybe 5 years, we can produce somebody that can be highly competitive in Formula One. And I will attempt to encourage and promote that concept because I have confidence in my country and also in the region that we are. Guyanese, I mean, look at Usain Bolt from Jamaica, world champion, right? We can produce world champions in almost anything if we have the right structures, the right support, the right discipline amongst the individuals, and encouragement from the people of their countries, which you have in the Caribbean. I think we can do it.
Young Calvin Ming hopes to make it to Mexico F4 race meet later this month.
Yeah, the plan is for this year run the Mexican F4 Championship, which is starting at the end of this month, and it's going to be 7 rungs and 21 races total.
Representing Guyana, of course, I guess?
Definitely representing Guyana. I grew up here, I started karting here, I raced up here up to like a year ago. I definitely love the Guyanese crowd, and I definitely will always represent Guyana.
Stanley Ming is confident his 19-year-old son can do Guyana proud.
Well, you know, I don't want to make a presumption, but I think he's going to definitely be in the top 3.
And that concludes our sportscast. Now for a look at the weather forecast.